Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and welcome back to ColorBlind. Now, this is episode number 2 of the ColorBlind series. There's only going to be about 3 episodes because it's kind of a really short game. A cute game. A fun game. Mildly fun. Getting all the coins is a tad bit of a pain. But in the previous episode, we talked about how when you're looking at something, it's kind of like being inside a goldfish bowl. Depending on your level of understanding, the more understanding you get, and the more you try to understand, the more you try to see, eventually you go from this little goldfish bowl that you're on the inside to being inside of a slightly larger fish tank. But depending on your viewpoints and depending on how much you want to learn, will pretty much determine which kind of area you end up in. As you gather more understanding and learn more things, you go from this little goldfish bowl to a fish tank, and then from a fish tank to a slightly larger fish tank, but you're still on the inside. Now, some people were able to reach a level of understanding where they're now swimming in a stream or a river. And then there's the people that have the level of understanding where they're swimming around in the ocean with the amount of understanding that they have. But it's all in how much you see and that you're willing to see. Because so long as you don't want to see, you won't. Just like you need multiple colors in this game to in a game to be able to see all the coins you need to get, or be able to move throughout all the obstacles you need to go to. To get that proper ending, you need to be able to understand things from more than one point of view. Yeah, it's okay to have an opinion, but you need to understand and be able to see things from both sides. Now, I'm not saying, hey, cross over to the other side, or no, don't. I mean, unless you want to cross over and, start walking with God, in which case I encourage that very much. But besides that, you need to understand that this world and everything in it is futile. Desiring things of this world is futile. It doesn't matter. And not many people see that. They just see their day-to-day struggles, their day-to-day challenges, and they just see their own opinions. When you just see your own opinions and you don't see the opinions of others, and see that, and you just stay in your own mind, you end up being something known as a fool. What does it mean to be a fool? Well, fools are more often than not close-minded. Very close-minded. They stick to their own ways, believing that they know more than even God. In which case, they are in the smallest container, or the fishbowl, and they can only see from this small, warped, because fishbowls are like, they're like a ball that's hollow, that has a top cut off, and then it's full of water, and then sometimes pebbles, and sometimes these little plant thingies that, honestly, I've never really understood the point of other than aesthetic. They look nice. And they never grow in understanding or wisdom. And while some people, they gain more understanding to that where they're like a reasonably normal human being, they end up losing out because they still stick to their own understanding, and they become content with everything. And it's okay to be content in certain situations. You know, like if there's not somebody bashing down your door, you'd be content. Or something. But your understanding is still not to that level. You're not seeing things as they should be seen. And to be honest, no human will ever be able to see things from the point of view of God. The closest you'll ever be able to come to that is getting to that big ocean of understanding. It is then who you are considered wise. Because you're looking at things from all angles. In fact, that's what Solomon, when, he first became king, God's like, hey, ask one thing of me. Not for my sake, but for the sake of your father, since he served me so honorably. I will grant you one thing. And Solomon thought about it for a while, and what did he ask for? He asked for wisdom. He asked for wisdom. Why? For the simple reason of this. You could be the smartest man on the planet, and you can have all the understanding in the world. But without wisdom, you can't navigate any of it. That's why, you get to the area of the ocean, and being able to see things from so many points of view, but without the wisdom to navigate throughout all of that, you lose out. Why? What's the point of having all that understanding if you don't know when to use it? And wisdom acts like a kind of like a navigational system. You could be smart and full of understanding, yeah. There's been a lot of smart people, a lot of people full of understanding. Whether we're swimming around in even the ocean, being able to see things from so many different points of view, understand where people are coming from. And it's times like that where I'm truly grateful to God that He allows me to see into the hearts of people so I can understand where they're coming from. Because if He didn't, I'm pretty sure I'd still be classified as a fool. But I'm not wise by my own right. I'm wise through the grace of God, through what He has taught me. And thanks to God, I'm able to see things from many different points of view. But I didn't have the wisdom at the time to navigate that understanding. I was swimming around in a really big ocean, but I had no idea where to go. And just like that, I went from being a man of great understanding to a fool with a great amount of understanding. But how does one be able to navigate and understand what they see? It's very simple. You can't, unless you have a very important piece of equipment. It's like it like kind of puts the best way to put it is an objective marker in your sight, so you know where to traverse. You can see things from a bigger point of view, but it won't overwhelm you to the point where you're trying to change everything. Instead, you're able to see things. Think of it like this: if you're swimming around in the ocean, you're able to see things from a bigger point of view. And you're at that point where you're outside that fishbowl. So you're able to see the things within that fishbowl and see how small that fishbowl was. You're able to see outside that fish tank that you were in. And then you're able to see how small in comparison to how things are now. Now that you have the understanding. And you're able to see things from a broader range. How small that one was. You're able to see it and you're able to navigate it because Or better yet to say, you're able to help other people navigate through it. Because now you have seen. But it's not always the easiest thing in the world. Because you're also trying to navigate a larger fish tank that you see. And as you're swimming around, once you reach that ocean of understanding, you're going to need something to help you navigate because it's too big for a normal person to be swimming around in. Even for somebody like Solomon, he made mistakes. And you could ask anybody that's older than you, either older than you in their walk or older than you in, normal years. Do they make mistakes? And if they aren't so full of themselves that they think that their shadow hides everything, and their ego can be seen from, I don't know, space, then they'll probably tell you, yeah, they make bad calls too. But it takes a long time to go from little fishbowl where you're seeing things from only your point of view, and it's a small point of view. Because a fishbowl isn't inherently, very big. It's a small bowl designed to hold maybe 1 or 2 fish at best. And keeping that small mindset can make you pretty foolish. Because you'll be too busy trying to say that you're right when you can't even see outside of that small fishbowl. In order to progress in this particular game, ColorBlind, you need to be able to see things from more than one point of view. Without the greens, you can't see the green coins or the green pathways. Without the blues, pretty much the same thing. And yeah, once you're able to see more, you see that there's more danger, there's more enemies around than you initially thought. That's the point of this game. And the point of this video, these videos, and part of the point of why I'm the Silver Watchman in the first place, to help you see more, to help you out of your little fishbowl, so you can start swimming around in the ocean with me. And yes, I make bad calls too. In fact, sometimes my mistakes are so hilariously massive that it's just like, huh. Well then. That's a failure, and that's pretty spectacular at that. But just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you should be entirely discouraged. In fact, think of it like this. We learn more from our mistakes than we do from our actual victories, because yeah, we win, but then we're just like, huh, yeah, we won. How did we win? Why did we win? Why the success? And then we have to go and see how did that happen in the first place? Because if you're winning all the time and you're able to do everything right all the time, you're not able to see from the point of view of somebody who, despite their best efforts, still failed. And yes, that does happen, where even despite your best efforts, you just fail. And that's happened, and it's going to happen. In fact, even when you're walking with God, there's going to be times where it's going to feel like a loss, like everything is just going to look, just to put it in perspective, it's going to be like, wow, everything's on fire and so is the wall. Everything's on fire. All of this sucks. I don't know what to do. And this is where the navigation system comes into play. How can we navigate throughout all of this? With wisdom and understanding. If we have the understanding and we're able to swim around in that ocean of just understanding, all right. That's nice, now we understand. But how are you going to navigate through that? How are you going to see? Now that you're able to see from everything from every other point of view, how are you going to make that proper decision? It's simple. You're not going to be able to. At least not normally. There is a way to bypass that, so you don't really need the wisdom, but you still should have it. We don't need that navigation system because there's an even better one. And it's called the Holy Spirit. Now, what is the Holy Spirit? Some of you might ask. It's a piece of God Himself that, if you accept it, will dwell within you. And yeah, you could live by your own wisdom and your own navigation system, or you can go with the one that's a lot superior, because your own wisdom, your own way of navigating everything, you're gonna make a bad call at some point, and the ramifications of that can be anything from maybe you run out of gas and you're in the middle of nowhere to somebody dies, because everyone's in different situations. It's hard to really put it all down into words, especially because we are running out of time in this video. But I thank you for sitting through. I thank you all for watching or listening, depending on what you're doing. And thank you. Thank you all. Glory be to God that I have this honor. And it is my personal pleasure to be able to do this. To be your teacher, to sit here and teach you as you listen. It's an honor and a joy. So blessings be upon you all. And glory be to God. This is a Silver Watchman, signing out.